Okay, I'm here in the crawl space of 100 Broadmoor, and found out all the water system is working fine, and this valve is working just fine, but the little stop on here that you can kind of see like right there, the little stop broke off that makes it so you can only turn it 90 degrees. So when it's perpendicular like this, then the water's off to the house. But when it's either straight up and down or like this, then the water's flowing. And there's also a shutoff inside the laundry room, so this one is redundant. So the system is working fine, it just doesn't stop at the 90-degree angle because the little bitty piece of metal looks like it broke off there. So it doesn't affect the functionality at all. It just makes it so that it rotates more than 90 degrees. So with it like this, then it's all the way on. So that's what's going on. Here's the main shutoff valve in the laundry room, right above the location under the crawl space where the other shutoff valve is. And so this one actually looks the same, but this one stops at the 90 degrees because that little bump out of that little brass piece is there. Or I don't know if it's brass. But anyway, so that little bump out makes it so it can only turn 90 degrees, but this valve works the same way as the one underneath. So this is fully on, and then when it's perpendicular, it's off. So it's on right there. Hey Luke, I'm here at your kitchen sink, and I was just verifying that the water worked throughout the house, and it works in both bathrooms, but not the kitchen sink. So when I turn it on, it's a trickle. So I took the handle off just to see if there was something inside there. I turned off the water pressure to the house. I totally took this apart. It all appears to be fine, and I can feel that there's water pressure there. There's no shutoffs underneath here for one. So there's no shutoffs here. The only way to shut off the water is at the main in the laundry room. But something is going on here. So when I, turn it on like it's a trickle, but I can feel and hear that there's full water pressure right underneath here. So there's something going on with this valve. So I'm going to take it apart and try again. It's kind of frustrating because I feel like it was working before, so I don't know if something got in the line just right in here. But I'm going to take this apart again and put it back together again, clean it out, and just see if I can get it working. It's not a water pressure problem to right here, and we've got water pressure to both bathroom sinks. So I'll keep working on it. Just wanted to give you a heads up. So I've taken the faucet apart, and these little parts that go on the hot and the cold side come out. There doesn't appear to be anything blocking it. So I don't know what's going on or why it's not working, but that's what I've tried so far. I'm familiar with these kind of faucets, so put it back together a second time and see if it's working this time. Otherwise, we might have to replace it or get somebody to take a look at it. Adios. Hey Luke, unfortunately I've taken this apart several times and put it back together, and it is still not working. So when I turn it on, it just trickles out. And I can feel the water pressure. It's there. So there's something inside here that's messed up. I've taken it apart twice now. I don't know any other way other than to replace this. These things are cheap. They're not, I mean, they're, what, 30 bucks or something to replace. It's just frustrating because water pressure's right there, but it's just not working. So unfortunately, that's where I'm leaving things right now. A positive note, I did turn your hot water heater on, so I removed the lockout sticker that was right here for the 30 amp breaker for the hot water heater and turned it on. It started off at default 120 degrees. I turned it down to 110, which is as low as it'll go. So anyways, that is on for the first time in your house. Adios. And I just noticed that the stove was unplugged. So I checked and the outlet is way down at the bottom. So I'm going to pull the stove out and plug it in so that you will have a working stove here. Okay, now the stove is plugged in and the time set and all is good here. Okay, this is before with the deadbolts and all that don't work with the key provided, and then the next shot will be after. One last thing. The door does not latch here at all. Like you can't close it far enough to latch. So I had to do the same thing over on mine, is like take all these screws out and pull this piece out like 1/8 of an inch, and then it'll latch. So I'm gonna do that as well. Okay, next update. So I pulled these screws out and re-drilled them and pulled it out. You can see it's out about 1/8 of an inch now. And so now the door latches. But now this, you have to like force it in to get the deadbolt to work. So I'm gonna have to do the same thing and pull the deadbolt one out a little bit. And then I think we'll be good to go. And then I can replace the doorknobs. I love a deadbolt that works with the key that it's designed for. Yay! Okay, it took a while to get the deadbolt replaced to get everything lined up. The deadbolt's working, so now I'm gonna do this guy. I took this apart and it does not slide out anymore because of this piece of trim, the wood right in between here. So it cannot slide out anymore unless we were to cut some of this wood out right there. So for now, the bottom latches correctly, but the top you have to just kind of push hard and then it latches. So yeah, I'm having to put my knee against it pretty hard to push it in to both lock it and unlock it. And that's just the way it is right now, but at least it locks and the key works on the deadbolt. So now I'll replace this guy. Okay, the bottom one now works as well. It unlocks and it locks. Unlocks, locks, the way a key should work. So it's now working. It's 9:24 p.m. We are good to go on this door, at least for tonight. Yep, locks. This one locks when you press against the door hard enough. So we're good to go. And throwing away those pieces. And I'll keep one of these keys with me and then put the other one in the lockbox. So there's one to the front and back door of your house. Now to go do the same thing over at mine. Adios.